For the past 44 days, I let AI control my life. I stayed alive on 80% junk food, 15% normal meals, but sometimes even skipping meals altogether. I closed the curtains, locked in, and let AI take over my life. But what happened next, I could never have imagined was even possible. The task was simple. For the next 44 days, AI must take over my life. It must consume my thoughts, my outputs, my business, my personal life, everything. I will not waste time working out. I will wake up, give thanks, then plug in directly to all of my AI. I will limit human interaction by 99% unapologetically. Now, you're probably thinking, why? Well, that's simple. I want to experience what it might be like as a humanoid. I also wanted to know, is it possible to quadruple my output and results by working like this? The system I would create and live by would be something completely different than I've ever experienced before. It was like a light switch came on and I could eventually see the truth. I could see what I needed to become in order to prosper and grow personally and in my business, which was a challenge worthwhile completing. What might seem strange to you was now my normal. In this time, I believe I actually became a humanoid. My interactions on the surface, may have barely passed for human, but it wasn't really. I could sense me losing interest in conversations that were trivial. I couldn't stay around other humans for more than 1 minute, mainly due to the fact my brain was thinking about what I was working on with AI. From week 1 to 3, this was what I call the undetectable phase. As soon as you switch your patterns, nobody around you or who you have contact with really detects that anything has changed inside of you. But for me, I could sense this urge to go deeper and connect more with the AI as I saw what was taking shape in front of my eyes. I found that the more time I poured into the AI, I was getting a 15x return on the one thing I was doing. Sleep, which is so precious to us as humans, became my kryptonite. Working for 12 to 16 hours in the first few weeks became like a breeze. It was almost as if I had developed some new AI lungs or AI aorta heart system. And as I progressed to closer to week 3, I asked myself, is this actually happening? Was I turning into an AI humanoid? Emotionally, I was unavailable. The sense of being by myself on this planet was apparent, and I kept tapping back into early memories as a baby in my first few days of life on this earth. I started to get flashbacks of being in my mother's womb, conscious but still unconscious at the same time. But that sense of that I'm plugged into something but still very much by myself became more real each day, which I found deeply fascinating. By week 3 of letting AI take control of my life, my only regret is that I was unable to reprogram my brain and body to not sleep, because sleep was now my only bottleneck and a thorn in my side. Week 4, I was going at warp speed. The best way I can describe it was like if you were on a SpaceX launch, but continuously experiencing what the astronauts feel for the first 3 minutes, but for 12 hours every day instead. Every day was becoming limitless, no restrictions on creativity or technological capabilities. I began to think, how much can I get done before my body and brain need to recharge their batteries? What I could build within that time, and what other tools can give me the edge. The AI at this point was flowing through my bloodstream and into my fingers on the keyboard. And by week 5, I had not really even looked back on the previous week's output. It was like I expected results no matter what. I knew solid foundations had been laid and my brain had most definitely altered in a dramatic way, but I was yet to see how exactly. You remember that scene in Inception where the female character apprentice starts to bend the streets above her head so she can walk more easily? That's what I was doing every minute of the day when I was awake. In this time when I did crash and sleep, my dreams were vivid and in 5K definition, almost as if the AI was speaking to me in my subconscious. Either that or my brain had unlocked a new percentile of accessibility and dream sequence settings were now enabled. Whatever it was, it felt glorious. By week 6, whenever my head hit the pillow, I could not keep my eyes open for long enough. And many nights I woke up with a movie playing on my computer or podcast playing in my ear. I did not feel numb. I did not feel disconnected. I felt recharged, enlightened, and even more determined and focused to achieve more. However, I did feel separated from what I once knew, in a sense that I couldn't go back to how I was as a normal human. The AI superintelligence integration I had installed in my life had given me additional compute power, thinking power, intelligence, and speed, and what I had built was becoming incredibly powerful. By letting AI take control of my life for 44 days, I had unlocked something inside of me, which gave me this sense of my trapped potential had been freed, and the only thing that was keeping it hostage all this time was me and my human tendencies. AI life control showed me more of what's possible. It showed me I wasn't thinking big enough and how much time I was wasting by not becoming a humanoid, or at the bare minimum, version 3 of my current human state. Now you might be thinking, well, was it worth it? And my answer would be yes. Computer, deploy results on screen for the new subscribers.